What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Sean O'Malley sends a message to Merab Dvalishvili. Sean O'Malley has taken plenty of digs at Merab Dvalishvili over the preceding months, and that hasn't changed since the two were booked to fight at UFC 306 next weekend. But in a more recent interview that Sugar did, the bantamweight champion acknowledged how good Merab actually is. According to O'Malley, however, none of that will matter when they throw hands. O'Malley and his camp have been feuding with Dvalishvili for quite a while now, largely because Merab's camp also includes Aljamain Sterling. Sugar ended Sterling's reign last year after the two exchanged verbal shots for months. Well, more recently, the current champion spoke with TMZ Sports, and while discussing his upcoming fight with Merab, O'Malley outlined why he's certain the challenger is in for all kinds of trouble. "I would say stylistically that I'm a nightmare matchup for Merab," O'Malley said. "I mean, I don't know what Aljo is going to tell Merab. He's like, he's fast, he's sharp, he's accurate, he's hard to take down, like, good luck." There wasn't a lot of success Aljo had in that fight. If anything, Aljo probably shouldn't tell him anything because it's probably gonna just make him a little bit nervous. So who knows? Aljo probably hopes I beat Merab because it makes Aljo look better. As noted, however, O'Malley did have some positive things to say about the Georgian fighter and his abilities. He's been rocked a few times, but he's got a good chin. He got rocked hard from Marlon Reyes and ended up finishing him, so he's very durable. He's got good cardio. He's obviously skilled. He's on a 10-fight win streak. He's very, very dangerous. First, you gotta give credit to O'Malley for not trying to claim that Merab isn't dangerous. After all, we're talking about a guy who has defeated several top-tier fighters and even legends in the game. Case in point, he's recorded wins over Peter Yan, Jose Aldo, and Henry Cejudo. What's interesting though is that some folks believe Merab is actually a nightmare matchup for O'Malley. But what's your take? Who do you see winning next Saturday's headliner? Aljamain Sterling reacts to fighter cheating in fight. Jacqueline Amorim recorded a submission win over Vanessa Demopoulos at UFC Vegas 97, but the strawweight's taking some heat for what went down moments before the fight was stopped. Aljamain Sterling was one of many folks who believe a foul should have been called. Moments before Demopoulos was forced to tap out to the fight-ending armbar, she screamed to the ref that Amorim was holding her glove. That is a no-no. Well, after replays showed that Amorim did pull her opponent's glove before rolling into the sub, Sterling posted a following comment via X. "That's pretty ishy. The hand inside the glove keeps a much tighter grip on your arm, and in that position, it 100% prevents you from moving the way you'd like to. The armbar finish was legit, but by the rules, it was a bit dirty of a trick to get there. LOL, word. That arm is pinned right there. Not the easiest to just defend the armbar transition while someone is holding the inside of the glove." And one fan argued Demopoulos should have focused on defending the submission rather than complaining to the referee. The former champ responded to that with this: "Also true, but having your arm pinned in that specific position isn't the easiest to defend. A normal wrist hold, she'd be able to move the arm easier to get to a better position, defensive position. But yeah, gamed the rules and gets to go home with both checks. Tough break." Kenny Florian, who also knows a thing or two about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, had this response when asked to comment on the replay: "The old fingers in the glove trick. When a ref is looking at the big things, the little things can go unnoticed." Yup, tough break for Demopoulos, and it's too bad replays can't be looked at after a fight's been called. If you're wondering, Amorim denied that she grabbed the inside of the glove. Up next, Sean Brady wants Colby Covington or Ian Garry next. Sean Brady took a big step toward the UFC's welterweight division's top 5 ranks on Saturday, and the Philly fighter has made it clear he wants to battle Ian Garry or Colby Covington next. Not only that, Brady's warned that if he gets tapped to fight Covington, the UFC could have a homicide on their hands. If you watched UFC Vegas 97, you know that Sean Brady recorded an impressive victory over Burns as he outstruck and outgrappled the perennial contender throughout 5 rounds. During the post-fight presser, Brady was asked about who he wants to fight next, and he was quick to name Garry and Covington.
I think Ian just thinks that he's God's gift to earth, and he's not, and I feel like everyone in the sport feels the same way. I'll fight him. I'll fight Colby. I think Colby is the easiest matchup in the division. I'll piece him up on the feet. I'll ragdoll him, but I would like to fight Ian. He's an up-and-comer. I'm a little bit older than him, but I want to be here for a long time. He's undefeated. He's got some hype. Before he said, I won't fight guys who are ranked behind me. I'm going to be ranked ahead of him on Tuesday with that number 6 spot. Maybe I'll let him fight me. We'll see how it works out, though.
Those comments mirrored what Brady had to say during the post-fight ESPN show. In that case, however, Brady made a very explicit and dire prediction for what will happen if he fights Colby. "I'll fight Colby in a heartbeat," Brady said. "UFC, please give me Colby. I will murder him. He shouldn't even be ranked. When's the last time he fought? So the answer to that question is December 2023, when Colby dropped the decision to now former champion Leon Edwards. Would Chaos accept a fight with Brady? It kinda seems unlikely given where Colby's at currently in his career, since he's lost in all 3 of his title fights to date, and given that he's now 36 years old, one would think grudge matches and super fights are more likely. All that aside, the only man to beat Brady to date, the current champion Belal Muhammad, heaped praise on his former foe for his performance on Saturday. When Brady was asked about the champion's praise and how a rematch could be different, he claimed he quit on himself when he got hurt by Belal in their bout.
That's the difference between Sean Brady of 2022 in October and Sean Brady of today. I will never quit on myself ever again. You have to kill me or else I'm going to be there for the whole night.
Dana White reacts to Oscar De La Hoya video. Recently, Oscar De La Hoya raised eyebrows when he announced in a video that he's going to be attending UFC 306. The decorated boxer turned promoter did so before proceeding to trash Canelo Alvarez's upcoming bout with Edgar Berlanga that same night. During the video, De La Hoya also nodded to his well-documented feud with Dana White. So what did the UFC bossman think of De La Hoya's comments and the rather odd video? Well, while speaking to John Morgan, White had this to say when asked about the video. I don't know where he's going to get his tickets from, but he's not getting them from me. I don't know if he's coming with Shake Turkey or what his deal is, but yeah, I saw it. It's him trying to ish on Canelo, and I've said it a million times. I respect Canelo. I like Canelo. Met him. He's a nice guy. Actually, who the hell was I talking to about this? I'm saying that night we're talking about the history of Mexico and the history of the people and their traditions and the impact they've had on combat sports. So you'll be celebrating Canelo that night. Yes, we are. Canelo's a big part. Whether you're taking a pass on Canelo's next fight or not, there's no denying that he's one of Mexico's greatest fighters ever. We're talking about a guy who unified belts in 3 weight classes. Conor McGregor smashes punch machine. Footage has been shared out in the past of Conor McGregor taking a shot at a punching machine, and the UFC star recently posted footage of him doing so again. The question is, what did McGregor score? Unfortunately, the clip cuts off before the machine's score was shown, but McGregor can be heard saying, "Solid." In the past, Alex Pereira and Francis Ngannou have fired up the internet by recording ridiculously high scores on punching machines. But the bigger question on most fans' minds these days, however, is when we're going to see McGregor throw his booming left inside the octagon. Gilbert Burns talks about what's next after UFC loss. Now that Gilbert Burns has lost 3 straight fights, the longtime welterweight contender acknowledged he isn't sure on what his next steps will be. As noted earlier, Burns faced rising contender Sean Brady in the headliner of UFC Vegas 97 and dropped a clear-cut decision win. Although Brady was the favorite heading into the bout, what was particularly surprising was that he was able to outstrike the hard-hitting Burns, and he did so by a wide margin. How wide? Brady landed 274 strikes in the contest, while Burns only landed 76. Well, during his post-fight interview with ESPN, Durinho had this to say about his performance. "I'm a little bit disappointed. I know I have the grit. I know I can fight hard, but I didn't let go. I just feel like I felt great this whole freaking week. I felt good in training camp. This morning was great, but when I got to the cage, it didn't flow. It just didn't flow. Nothing was good." And while discussing what he sees next, Burns acknowledged he isn't sure. "I don't know, that's a good question. I didn't think about that, so I've got to rethink. I've got to go back, talk to my coaches, see what's next. At the same time, give a little time to my family. They give up so much when I'm in a camp for a fight. I'm gonna go back, spend time with the family, go back to train. I don't have any injuries, thank God. I lost, but at least the body is feeling good." It'll be interesting to see the next chapter of Burns' career. Of course, no one is calling for him to retire since his recent losses have come against the best of the best at welterweight. But given his recent defeats and the fact that he's 38, it's hard to imagine Durinho making another title shot run. What do you think? Who should Burns fight next? Dana White reacts to UFC legend retiring. It was a busy weekend for combat sports, but one of the big headlines was the news that Demetrious Johnson is closing the book on his storied MMA career. The 38-year-old former UFC champion announced his MMA retirement during One Championship's card Friday in Denver. Well, following the news, one of the questions that fired around was whether Johnson will be inducted into the UFC's Hall of Fame. On paper, it goes without saying that Johnson fully deserves to be in. After all, he's unquestionably one of the greatest fighters ever, and he holds the UFC's record for title defenses at 11. The reason some people question if Johnson would get the UFC Hall of Fame nod, however, is because he's been fighting for one since 2018. Johnson was never shy about saying he deserved to get paid more, and his UFC departure was also bizarre since he was traded to one for Ben Askren. Well, John Morgan asked Dana White about whether Johnson will be added to the UFC's Hall of Fame this weekend, and thankfully, the UFC president said absolutely. In addition, White said this about Johnson.
"I was defending him from the fans,
right.
you know? So who's defended Demetrious Johnson more than me? Yeah, I've never had a problem with Demetrius Johnson.
Yep, that's good to hear. Dricus Du Plessis responds to Khamzat Chimaev after he went on Twitter Spaces and called the African champion.
We need to get that title back for the normal people, man. To have the belt, man. Not normal. First time I've ever seen heard like Africa.
Where are you, Khamzat? Where are you?
I'm home, bro.
Dricus responded to Khamzat by saying, "You just focus on trying to make it to a fight, any fight." Khamzat also went in on Darren Till, accusing him of being the reason why he's missed weight.
I still eat chocolate. I'm a fat boy. Am I a fat boy?
Yeah, you always been fat boy, man. If you didn't eat so much chocolate, you could beat the Du Plessis, man.
How much chocolate I used to eat till everyone?
Let's say if Snickers knew how much you love it, they would give you a percentage from there. Bro, you got me fat, man. Bro, when I met you first time, I missed my weight, man.
I made you miss weight.
Before I met you, I never missed my weight. Yeah, of course, because you eat every day chocolates, brother. I couldn't stop as well. You don't have discipline, bro. That's why you're not close to me now. Otherwise, I took you here, bro.
I never ever had chocolate round you.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Don't lie, man. You drink beer every day, man.
You're at home. Send me location. I'm coming.
No training camp, bro. Don't come here, brother. You can destroy everything, man. Let me train, bro. Let me train after the fight. I can see you, man.
Everything comes out. I'm sparring. I beat everyone. You know,
no, you don't beat anything, man. Who did you beat, man, last time, man?
You know me striking is the best in the world. Don't forget that.
For one round, yeah?
Yeah, because then I get tired and I need some cheeseburgers.
Top comments. The UFC needs to make a washed-up division. Masvidal, Conor, Nate, all systematically destroying their legacies in a desperate attempt to be relevant. Shaking my head. Jorge Masvidal is desperate to stay relevant. I would be down for Leon versus Masvidal. Give Leon more chances to get to be a bigger star, even though he's pretty boring, but a big KO would help. I can't see how anyone is supposed to be impressed with Shot whooping Rockhold in a grappling match. Rockhold is 39 and he's been retired for a while now.